Mark's a dear friend. He's right. In our business, we're kind of a small, fairly twisted community, and I appreciate Mark and his devotion to all the good things. Well, you've been inspired, so as you've heard me say many times before, I'm going to be Southern Baptist, which means you be brief, be bright, and be gone, so you can all get into the warm. You know, the wind, those of you who are still here that brave the wind, I applaud you, and as a friend of mine just reminded me earlier about this windstorm today, you know, it's a lot like an Arkansas divorce. Somebody's going to lose a trailer. I see there, come on, you got to laugh at that. Well, you've heard enough inspiring messages tonight. Even Pastor Broden, you know, who can follow that guy? And a lot of other people that have given you a lot of perspectives about what is great about our nation, what is great about our Constitution. I'm going to tell you what's great about you, and I'm not going to take long to do it. It is very popular right now for people to dismiss the Tea Parties. Have you ever noticed, and I can guarantee you tomorrow, some knucklehead in mainstream media is going to go, oh, they had a Tea Party at Quick Trip and nobody came. They're going to whine and fuss, and they're going to talk about how we're not cohesive, and we're a bunch of rednecks and hilljacks and racists and freaks and all that kind of stuff. Not racist, realists. And I promise you, this will all happen. And much of America is going to read that and go, you know, those people they were never real, that was not a big deal, it was some big corporate conglomerate. Let me tell you what I know. 2.5 years ago, when we started at KLIF, because I got mad, which I'm wanting to do on the air one day, when we started blowoutcongress.com, it was based on a dream that we could get rid of these knuckleheads in Congress who are just killing us. These people are the bottom 10th of the class, and they have been in both parties for so many years, spending money in ways that most of us just don't agree with. Let's just be upfront about that. They make decisions with our money that most of us find bad or reprehensible. So we decided to do something about it. Then came the rise of the Tea Parties. As the Tea Parties began to form up, we began to work with them at blowoutcongress.com, at KLIF. Mark supported all of these groups as well. Here's what I know. In November, we put 80-something candidates into play. 80-something presidents into play. Now, stop and think about that. Never before in history had that been done. A turnover like that was done in, I want to say it was 1923, maybe? An unbelievable number. Had it not been for the Tea Parties, that would have never happened. If it had not been for blowoutcongress.com and people licking envelopes and walking streets and shaking hands and selling t-shirts and getting angry, it would have never happened. So for everybody that says, well, those people are a bunch of rednecks and racists and they're not around anymore, I say no. Let me tell you what's happening right now. It's also very popular to bash the Tea Parties right now and say, well, you know, they're done, they've had their time, they made their point, they got out and they cling to their God and they cling to their guns and they hell race a little bit and they're finished. How many of you know, even if you're from Three Frogs, Texas, there's a thing called the seasons? Now, whether you're raising crops, or kids, or in your marriage, there are always seasons. All we're doing right now in the Tea Parties is in this fallow season, many of us are reading and studying. We're not going out and meeting each other a lot. We may meet on the internet some. Some of us are helping local candidates and things like that, which I encourage you all to do. But we're watching right now these 80-some-odd freshmen that we put into place to see if our efforts were worthwhile. Think of November as a draft. A draft that looked pretty good on paper, but as we've seen in the NFL, oftentimes turns into a bust. All we're doing right now is watching to see if the fruit of our labors is going to succeed. And that is embodied in the candidates that we put into office. So the idea that somehow we don't matter and we're not going to be together again, that's all silly. Don't listen to that. You have to realize what we did in November was unprecedented in American history. And it is inevitable that we're all going to take a deep breath in a non-election year. We're going to take a deep breath and go, okay, spend some time with my family, I'm working my business, I'm going to get a degree, I'm going to start another business, I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do. And when the time comes, in particular, if the freshmen that we put into place succeed, we will rise again. There is no question in my mind that at the moment we realize that the fruits of our labor in putting fiscal conservatives in place, some 80 of them, if we realize that they are winning, not only will we gather together again in even greater numbers than we did last fall and the year before that, then we will put another 150 of them in there so they can really get something done. So we're not talking about cutting millions or billions, but trillions of them. So all I want to say to you is this. Do not be discouraged. Do not listen to these people that want to suggest to you that somehow our movement is weak, that our time is done. That is all a bunch of nonsense from people that don't understand us. They didn't understand us then. They don't understand us now. Do not be discouraged. We won one of the most significant battles in American political history. That is not just rhetoric. It was an epic victory. And it was with the people that you see around here. Look around you, because I'm going to tell you what you're not going to see. You are not going to see the biggest, the smartest, the strongest, the fastest. If you were putting together an army, honey, it wouldn't be us. But look what we did. But look what we did together. So all I want to do is share a word of encouragement with you and tell you, don't give up. Don't feel guilty. If you're not out pounding the pavement every day and returning 15 emails and handing over, part of your check to Tea Party efforts and blow out Congress and all that stuff. Although Blaine is selling blow out Congress t-shirts back there. You'd like one of those. Don't feel bad about that. You've done a remarkable job, a stunning job. I applaud you. It's an honor to be a part of what you're doing. And for us and for me, we march forward in strength. And we will rise again. Thank you all.